Hello and welcome back to Random Movie Roulette. I'm Lewis.
I'm like, we're all from our respective homes, not for any COVID scare this time,
Yeah,
thankfully,
I know
because
you thought
Yeah,
Mike was homeless and just moved in with me, but he does have a place to live, and it's
as
very
do
out of
I,
focus.
and I am Jack, and
yeah,
we are some uh
Lucky, happy
what's
boys, I
the
think.
yeah, I was gonna say what's the antithesis of
we're
promising
we're
young women?
disappointing white men. That's the
Yeah,
opposite.
exactly.
Yeah, we are disappointing white men. We also have to introduce our new co-host. They joined us for our last Grinch episode, Sunny and Cher, the Furbies. Round of applause, everyone. I gotta get like a soundboard here. Guys, we saw a promising young woman. We saw it a while ago. Jack
He
saw it
saw it
a real
I
long
saw
time
it
ago.
a long time ago. It was the last thing I saw in movie theaters, everyone.
You lucky piece of shit.
Ja-
Um,
so, Jack, this is the longest prep that you've ever done for an episode.
yeah.
I know, really.
How well do you remember this movie?
I would say pretty well. It's a hard movie to forget.
Yeah,
No,
it
yeah,
really sticks with you.
and I do got to say, Jack, like you did see this way before any of us, and you had to keep your mouth shut for 7 whole months before any of us even got a chance to even think
Like,
about it. So
that hurt so much, and also waiting for the killer soundtrack hurt so much. But I gotta say, when you guys like FaceTimed me after watching it, I felt like Lewis had just had a child, and you were like FaceTiming me, and we were like, "Oh, we get to see the baby! Congratulations! This is so exciting!" It's like, "Yay! I
It's
get
a
to
Best
talk about
Picture
promising
winner.
young woman." I mean, it should be.
If it's not,
if they
like,
were
something
if they were
wrong.
fucking cool,
Yeah,
I mean, let's really think about this. Like, its competition is Mank, which is, I think, at best fine.
not deserving.
we'll talk about it later.
Yes. Stick around if you're watching this live somehow and we missed that. We will be going live again pretty
But-
soon with a bonus episode with three movies. We're reviewing Freaky, Sound of Metal, and Mank. So
Yeah.
stick around for that, and that will be available for the public. But we want to make sure our patrons get that shit first because we fucking love you
But
guys.
if this movie had come out in a regular year, this would have been 2020's Get Out. This would have been the movie that we talked about. Genre movie for the entire year until the Oscars came, and then we would have been like, okay, let's
Yeah.
give
Yeah.
it its due.
Because that's the thing. I feel like a movie like this, like it needs months of build up and discussion, and
There would have
and-
been Halloween costumes of that nurse outfit.
Oh man, the Harley Quinn fucking
You've
all seen the trailer.
hair. Yeah.
Carrie
But,
Mulligan
no,
is so cool. God damn it, I want to be.
Yeah,
her.
it's so weird because I'm like always used to seeing her in like kind of stuffy British period pieces where she's just saying like I do declare in like different but like this is like such like a fun like kind of like winky like kind of like a role where it's like she gets to like be quirky and like have fun, but like there's also like a real darkness to her
Yeah,
character
there's-
that comes out a lot, and it's
If
yeah
we
it's,
live-
it's a extremely dynamic performance, and it's like I think that like even if the movie itself has a hard time like getting awards play, I'm like she is almost certainly like the best chance.
She needs to be a lock because the fact is, if we live in a world where Joaquin Phoenix got an Oscar for Joker, she needs an Oscar for this.
Dude, what if this is female Joker? Like, what if a bunch of women see this and they're like, "I must become the Joker"?
Oh my god, the
she
memes.
she has better motivations and is
Yeah.
honestly handles her problems much better. She is much smarter than the Joker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and again, we should be very upfront about this. There's so much in this movie that can be ruined, so we are going to be walking around in eggshells. We don't want to ruin shit for you.
Yeah.
I am amazed that Jack did not ruin this for us in 7 months.
This
It's his
was
bread
my
and butter.
one thing that I just like could not tell anyone about. I know watching that trailer I was so on board, and I know maybe 10-15 minutes into this movie I was like, I knew none of what I thought I knew about this movie, and it just like it does.
And that's a feeling I got like 8 times throughout the movie. Like I
Yeah.
kept being like, oh, like I really didn't know what this was, and then like I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I really didn't know what this was. It kept kind of evolving, and in such a way that like, you know, I feel like a lot of the movies that I really enjoy, like, are really, like, tight in how they follow the act structure and story structure, and that's something, like, I watch for a lot. I was completely removed from that. Like, I really felt like I was watching this the way I used to watch movies before I became, like, a fucking asshole critic. Like, this was just, like, pure unadulterated joy. There was no critical eye. I wasn't, like, trying to critique the director. I was on board by 5 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, and that's not to say that, you know, we weren't watching this movie critically and evaluating, because there's, like, a lot of themes and, like, commentary that it's making that is almost in the same way that Get Out is. It's very upfront about what it's trying to say, but I do think that this movie does tackle it in an extremely more nuanced way than you would expect, like a movie that's about this subject matter, like, so bluntly.
Yeah, and the subject matter we're talking about is, I think, to put it bluntly, is rape culture. You know.
Yeah.
And I said that the most surprising thing about the movie, tackling a topic like that, I'm like, I don't think that they use the word rape or sexual assault anywhere in the movie. And the fact that they're able to talk about that without having to, like, explicitly use those words or say a language or bringing up that kind of, like, triggering words is, like, really impressive.
Yeah, what I was going to say is I definitely, like, this movie does reinvent the rape revenge genre, but I don't even think that's fair, because it is so many things more than what that frankly exploitive genre can be at a lot of times.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't force you to indulge in any of the things that it is trying to, like, critique.
Yes, it is not the least bit exploitative. Like, which is the hallmark of the rape revenge drama is exploitation, sexploitation, all that fun shit. Like, but this is it's so down the middle. It's so smart, way smarter than it kind of lets on at first. But as it goes on, and as you get like to know these, like, really well drawn, like, very deep characters, the more you just come to appreciate, like, how well they're really tackling the subject matter, and how they're doing it in a way that, like, no one's even come close to doing before. Again, I realize how vague all of this shit sounds, but trust us, you don't want things ruined for you.
Can't get into this too much. I can say, if you are a fan of the show Killing Eve at all, Emerald Fennell was the season 2 showrunner. This very much has a lot of tones that show has, but obviously deals with much different subject matter. But
was she the director of this?
She was the director and writer of this. Yeah. She is also an actress. If there's anyone out there that's watched The Crown, she plays Camilla Parker Bowles in The Crown. But she just really outdid herself with this movie. I mean,
yeah, sign me the fuck up for whatever she does next. Like, I'm all about it. Because, I mean, like, from a writing standpoint, amazing. But also just, like, general pound-for-pound filmmaking, on every fucking level, this is exceptional. You know, the way it incorporates music, the way... Oh, okay, this is not ruining anything. A Paris Hilton song, like, fucking made me happy.
Touch your heart.
Yeah.
Dude, you know how many times that I'll, like, catch myself just in the day and I'll just be like, I was busy thinking about boys. The soundtrack fucking slaps so hard.
It's so fucking...
You know, I have been remembering Last Laugh in my head for months, and now that I finally have it back.
Oh, and also another song that has been overused in movies recently, but Angel of the Morning, making that song somehow feel unique to one specific movie. Like, that's now, like, the scene I'm thinking of when that movie, and it's like, it's been parodied and used in hundreds of movies, but it's like, this one felt like it made it feel new.
Much better than Deadpool.
And Chapter 2.
Did It Chapter 2 use Angel of the Morning?
It was the dumb scene when that, like, leper thing during Eddie's nightmare, like, throws up on him. It just plays it for, like, a split
Oh my
second.
god, that's
right. God, that's right.
That was the worst part of the whole movie.
What a horrible fucking movie.
That was a dog shit movie.
Yeah. But also, that's the thing, is that, like, it's able to, like, reinvent like these types of songs that like have been used in movies and that like we've heard a bunch of our lives, like Toxic, like makes
Oh
that
my
song
God.
like the rendition of that song in
Mhm.
this movie, like the way that it's able to like and again we can't say like when it's used or how it's used because it's again very
The best use of a killer cover of "It's Raining Men." I mean,
Yeah.
it's lovely.
It's so many, like, I hate needle drops in movies, and I think that was really like hammered in my head like after I watched Suicide Squad. This is like the antithesis to Suicide Squad. This is like it taking all of Suicide Squad's mistakes and being like, fuck you. Like, it's possible you just suck. I don't know. That's probably not
but yeah
fair.
I think if there's any other things I want to talk about because it's like you talk about like how smart the movie is from like a writing standpoint, and I think it's because it is tackling a lot of like these discussions that happen around like this culture, but it's smart enough to know that we've been involved in that discourse for many years now, so it doesn't have to like explain too much or like have to spoon feed you things. Like it's able to take like just kind of like very like phrases that like have been thrown around and stuff and like reincorporate like there's many times where it's like it's like, oh well, she shouldn't have put herself in that
but
situation.
like also like it doesn't like explain like r/nice guys memes to you all the time. Like it illustrates that concept really really well and deftly, but it's never like in a way like, hey internet people, like this movie is so good at being young and hip, like, which makes me sound like a fucking like horribly old man, but like it's that thing that Hollywood does all the time and fucks up all the time, that like hello fellow kids bullshit, that like using this like hot soundtrack and weird nostalgia and kind of sometimes buzzwords and buzz phrases, and it does it all to the extent that it works, and in no small part due to Carey Mulligan's fucking performance here.
Yeah.
She's selling shit.
Yeah, what I'm gonna ask you guys is, what part of this movie, without getting too spoilery, be as vague as possible, but once people see it, they'll know what you're talking about. What part of this movie just sticks out in your memory the most?
I mean, that last 15 minutes, like, took me on a ride.
I was honestly like, the ending of the movie like had me like I was in knots in the ending because I was just so tense at like what was about to happen, and the ending is something that like we can't talk about, but it is something that like is going to leave a bitter taste in a lot of people's mouths.
Yeah,
but it's like
there's a lot of that here. There's a lot of stuff you're gonna feel really fucking uncomfortable in a lot of this movie.
For a movie that's a Christmas release, do not watch this on Christmas.
Don't watch it with your family.
Watch this if you want a good mood. You might give you a good mood in like a get what you deserve kind of way sometimes. But
it is a very cathartic type of movie.
Yeah.
Even though like it goes places that like that will make you like that will like shake you to your core. But
there's
like
a segment with Connie Britton that is the one that sticks out in my memory most of all these months later. The ending, of course, is great too, but
that scene,
I think that's when I'm just like, okay, I'm just like sitting up in my chair and just like.
That scene is so good. That's the only scene Connie Britton is in, and I think she should get Best Supporting for it. She's
absolutely
fucking great.
That's the thing. Everyone in this movie should be nominated for something.
Yeah,
Bo Burnham.
It's like everybody in this movie has like such small roles, but whenever they show up, there's a surprise cameo that I don't think we can spoil.
No.
But
Can
it's like
I feel like we can spoil.
No. Okay. Why even take the risk?
I didn't know that he was in the movie, and when he shows up, and I don't even think he's credited. Like if you look through the IMDb credits, he's like uncredited. So
that's the other one I was gonna say would be an awards nominated performance.
Yeah, I think Bo Burnham is probably the only one who has like a consistent amount of screen time.
Yeah.
But again, like I can't imagine Academy Award nominee Bo Burnham happening this year. But I would love it.
It should have fucking happened.
Should have happened 2 years ago. But yeah.
Also, great. Not like a strong, powerful, whatever role, but really good use, I think, of Laverne Cox as well in this
This is the movie that made me like Laverne Cox. I was not on the Laverne Cox train, but boy, oh boy, all about Laverne Cox now.
Well, and just in terms of giving a trans role, essentially, just that it is very much not like a subject matter that she is trans. It is, you know,
It's
just a
just a
character in the
person
movie.
living their life. Yeah. That's what to do,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah. Sunny and Cher, what do you guys think of the movie? Yeah, you got change. Yeah.
I guess they said something. But...
Yeah, no, it was pretty insightful.
I think that was off color, and we should take them off the show.
It was only like
Yeah,
vaguely
honestly,
anti-Semitic.
Lewis,
I
when did
think
it?
we need to
Yeah,
revisit.
Lewis, honestly,
Sonny
did
and
it ever?
Cher's
Did it ever?
role.
Yeah, Lewis, did it ever pop into your head when you made this that like maybe we don't need to have an extra box for non-speaking inanimate objects? Well, we could have
Okay.
just had
No,
that for us.
Or we can have new guest
I made
stars
this.
every week.
I made this specifically for our episode with Test Powder when I knew we would need an extra 2 boxes. But now that we're Skyping, we have the extra box. Okay?
Fine.
And Sunny and Cher deserve their time in the spotlight.
They're literally there to fill space.
Yeah, and soon they will take your job. These are the robots that are coming in to take your job. It's Furbies.
Oh, boy.
You can't replace this personality.
Oh, Christ almighty.
Oh,
All right,
boy.
how much more can we say about this movie without ruining it? I'm trying to think.
Nothing. There's
Yeah.
nothing we can say except just like,
See
you
it
know,
as soon as you can.
yeah, give
It's
all your money to this movie. If you are, for any reasons, an awards voter,
I
don't
can't.
skip over this one.
I
I
cannot
don't
wait
think we
to
have
spend money
awards
on this
voters
movie.
watching us, but yeah, I'm gonna buy it.
Oh, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it if I
incredible.
can get to a theater. If like I'm sure that like if this does like well around award seasons, when theaters reopen, this will be pushed out again.
Like Parasite, it'll have a re-release.
Yeah.
And
I will be there. I think we'll get the
Yeah.
black and white version of. I would watch this in black and white actually.
I
Probably
think
pretty
no.
cool.
I think the colors are too vibrant.
the
I would
colors
colors
are
want to
great.
see that.
vibrant. You know me, I love turning color movies into black and white. I watched Batman Returns again today, but it's the season. But yeah, this movie color is so essential to it.
Hey, Lewis, Jack, I saw a tweet earlier that said, like, if you turn your TV black and white while watching The Grinch, it looks like a Fritz Lang movie.
It probably does. But I have something I'll tell you that I'll tell you later. But yeah,
All right, guys. That's I think we're gonna wrap up on Promising Young Woman. We really don't want to ruin shit for you, but if you didn't, get it, go fucking see it. Spend money on it. Support
Yeah.
a wonderful woman filmmaker who hopefully will go on to win a lot of awards. Obviously,
Emerald Fennel, say her name.
I'm sorry, Emerald Fennel. Emerald or Emerald? Emerald
like the
Lagasse?
gem.
Emerald City
Bam.
in the land of
Like
Oz.
the Emerald City, like a Steven Universe gem. Like
Emerald. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us for this advanced review of Promising Young Woman. Once you see the movie, please hit us up on Twitter at Arm Roulette. Let us know what you think, because
And also, read my review on Before the Cyborgs that I wrote for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
absolutely, guys. Where can people
Yeah.
find you on the internet?
I am Jack on 35mm on Instagram and Jack Patterson on Letterboxd, and I have a review of it too on there.
RMR Cyborg Mike on Twitter and Instagram, and on beforethecyborgs.com you can find my written review of Promising Young Woman, which I go into a little bit more detail than I did right now, but because when in words you can find ways to expand on things that
And who reads
couldn't
reviews anymore anyway? I'm kidding.
you just look at the you just look at the score, and then you leave very hurtful things in the comments when the number is a little lower than you want it to be.
The Cyberpunk 2077 effect.
That's one where the scores maybe have been too high.
I could do a whole hour on that, believe me. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at RMRouletteLewis. You can find me on Instagram. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, you can find me on Twitter at LewisJOtero. You can find me on Instagram at RMRouletteLewis. I think I'm also at RMRouletteLewis on Letterboxd as well, which I've been using. I've been trying to keep up with it. But you can find us all on Twitter at RMRoulette. You can go to patreon.com/RMRoulette. And our patrons are watching this fucking live right now, or they have the ability to do so. We have no way to know who's tuned into this. But yeah, please check us out there. Support us. Get yourself some bonus content, guys. TV Boys is making a return this week. All right? How I Met Your Mother. We got to get more TV Boys. So,
Yeah.
thank you guys so much for joining us. If you are watching this live, stick around a little bit. Be checking your Patreon feeds because we're going to be going live again very, very soon with a bonus episode on Freaky, Mank, and the Sound of Metal. Until then, we love you. Good evening, and go see this fucking movie.